Welcome to a special live edition. Here we are talking about being a 6 months day trader and what advice I would give if I had to start all over again, or if somebody else was asking me, hey Amy, where would you get started as a complete beginner day trader, like knowing nothing at all, right? My first thought getting into day trading was read, learn, take in as much information as possible, like get all the info. And when I started out, it was like a fire hose of information. And in one sense, it was good because I thought, I'm just gonna learn a bunch of stuff and I'm gonna get really inspired and I'm just gonna go out and make it happen. And I wish that I had honed in a little sooner, because in November, when I technically started trading, although I consider myself 6 months day trader because I didn't switch from swing and day trading until December. So in that time, I would have narrowed the focus. I would have said, okay, the only background I have is as like an investor, buy and hold, right? For forever. And I wanted to be more of an active trader. So I said, let's look into swing trading. Let's look into day trading. And I think I kind of stumbled into day trading. I think I was more like a swing trader in the beginning because I liked the idea of, well, I can hold it overnight and, maybe make a little extra money. And then there was some times where I made a quick profit in a day and I'm just like, bam, let's just sell it, right? Let's get out. And so I wish that I would have focused more so on one or the other. I personally am enjoying the day trading side of it way more than the swing, just because I like the fast action. So, hey, Steve, what's up, Rocky Mountain Finishing? What's going on, guys? Yeah, I kind of was like too wide. I started too wide. And so I encourage you, if you're trying to invest, swing trade, day trade, do options, do Forex, do futures, like, cut all that noise out and pick one area of focus. And I had friends telling me all over the place, get into futures, do futures. I'm doing futures. You should do futures. And I was like, I'm happy for you. Good job. What's up, Greg? Keeper of the deep. What's going on? I was like, good for you. You found something you want to do. This isn't of interest to me right now, futures, but appreciate the suggestion. I'm just going to focus on stocks. So at least in the beginning, I did that. But I would tell like newer traders, don't try to balance like, I'm going to be an investor and a swing trader and a day trader, and I'm going to do all these other things as well. Pick your lane. Okay. So for me right now, I kind of have barely looked at my retirement account in terms of like reinvesting stuff in there. I'd moved to cash mostly in December. And I was like, you know what, the market's being crazy. I'm just going to leave it in cash mostly. So I kind of was just like, let's put that to the side. And then I was thinking, oh, I can juggle day trading and swing trading. That's not too bad. Well, even that requires two different mental capacities, right? Like you're trying to think long-term a little, and you're trying to think really short-term. Rick says, don't spend any money until you have some idea of what you want and how to trade. Yeah, I totally agree. Like I started just buying stuff and, like, oh, the big caps and the big tech and let me buy some Tesla, let me buy some Apple, let me buy some, what the heck was I buying? Amazon and freaking Meta, like all these things. And I don't think it's a good idea to try to invest in multiple things. So pick your lane, narrow your focus. And then once you decide like, hey, day trading's my thing, I'm just going to focus on that, leave the other stuff behind for right now, then I would really encourage, go to YouTube and like find a bunch of people that you want to watch their content. Maybe the title is intriguing, maybe the thumbnail catches you, whatever. But watch a bunch of stuff and then start to listen to the way people, if you're in alignment with them, keep listening. And instantly you open a video and it's just, some crazy guru guy and he's like, let me sell you something. Maybe that's not in alignment with you. But try to find people who you just are like, I like this guy or I like this girl. I'm going to listen to them, right? Piano Trader says futures is so much better. I mean, it's all opinion, Piano Trader. Like, hey, if you find what works, that's all that matters. For me, I think I would get really bored trading just like indexes. I like the fast moving stocks, and I'm on my way. I'm picking my lane. I can't juggle futures and stocks, and I started with stocks, so that to me just made sense to stay with it. Maybe one day though. Cal on the left says I should have bought Farcoin. Yeah, that's one of those like, can't believe it blew up. Rocky Mountain says strategy is paramount, whatever it may be. Yeah. And that's, that'll come with time, like as a trader, that you'll kind of narrow in. Thank you, Stone. That you'll figure it out. Like you'll be like, okay, I like this particular strategy because it suits me. And when I say to listen to a bunch of people on YouTube, that's just for a short period of time. That's where you can absorb and you can learn. And, I went on Amazon too, and I bought a bunch of books about trading. And, I got up to like, I don't know, 8 or 10 books. And I was like, okay, I've got plenty of information at my fingertips. Now it's a matter of putting in the time to read and study and learn this stuff and find who I'm in alignment with that I actually want to learn specifically from. And I think this is one of the things that's made it take longer than it should, I think, for me to kind of feel like I'm on my way, is that I didn't pick one specific person. I was listening to too many people for too long, right? Ali Motors says, how did you connect your screens? So I have an Asus, however you say it. It's like top of the line, like gaming computer down here. I'm not a gamer, but I do video editing, and that's why I went with like a high speed one. This particular model did not come with multiple ports for HDMI. Super annoying, one port. So what I did was I got I think it's called like a display cable, and that's how I was able to connect to the computer. So these aren't actually like connected to each other. This one's on HDMI, and this one's on the display port cable, whatever, if that makes sense. Yeah. Hey, big name. I love futures, but day trade momentum and swing stocks. Yeah, and I think like when you find your groove with one or the other, then you can add other stuff. If you've like, okay, I got my strategy with day trading, now I can add swing trading, or vice versa, that's cool. But like in the beginning, yeah, you don't want to do that. Yes, Greg, go, and this is Windows, go into display settings, and then it'll ask you like which one you want to be the main monitor, and then you can, figure out from there. It's pretty simple at that point. I did use ChatGPT though for that. What was your reason for getting into trading in the first place? So November 2024, I fly to Chicago for a conference. It's all about like personal development, success, building up your dreams, that kind of thing. And I'm on the plane ride home, and I was like, well, let me pick a book to read on my iPad. So I pull up my Kindle app, and I'm like, for whatever reason, I don't know why, I found the book that was buried in there somewhere called How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market by Nicholas Darvis. And it was sort of this like, oh yeah moment where I was like, I bought this book years ago when I had some extra capital from my business, and I thought I was going to do options trading. This was like 2016. And I never got into it. I took a class and I decided not to get into options and focus on business and like whatever. But the desire was there to learn more about trading. So I'm on this plane ride home, and I'm like, let me read this book a little bit. And all of a sudden it just hit me. Like, I want to trade. I've been looking for something that's really fun to do, that gives me freedom, like having online businesses, but without having a team, without having to manage people, without having to run ads and market and do all this other stuff. I want something that's a little bit more like I can do the thing, and I can say I want to do it every day if I want, or I don't have to do it every day if I want. It's up to me to go out there and make it happen. And then the other idea behind that was, hey, there's something you can make a lot of money with. Those are my two criteria. And I was putting out this like intention into the universe of those two things. And then trading just like fell in my lap. And the first couple of months I was doing, some swing trades, some day trades. I was making money. I was cashing out during that bull run of some investments I had. And I was just like, oh, heck yeah, but yeah, that was kind of all the early reasons, fake name. But then it became like this mission of let me bring as much people as possible with me to figure out like how we overcome the stuff that holds us back, like mentally. And it's like everything you want to do in life, it starts up here, like how your mental, strategy is, and how you can handle stressful situations, and how you can pump yourself up, and how you can be a better human being. And I just really wanted to form, like the community around it, of day trading. And so, I started doing this channel initially just talking about like investing and what I was investing in. And when I put out one video about day trading called I started day trading 3 months ago and here's what happened, that hit the YouTube algorithm and a bunch of people started following. And I was like, oh, people want to hear about day trading. I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to talk about it because I was so new at it and I felt like such a newbie. I was like, what am I going to tell people to do? I'm like not good at this. But anyways, you guys are awesome for popping in. And by the way, if you want to join our Telegram group, we've got Amy's Trading Tribe. It's a free group. There should be a link in the description. Thanks, Pops. I was wondering if that was you. Let's see, trading futures, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, started with Ross Cameron's videos. Yeah, so back to like tips I would give. In the beginning, like I said, I was a fire hose with the information, like absorbing everything and watching all these different people on YouTube. And, by like the very first month I was in day trading, I said, I like Ross Cameron. I enjoy his content. He's very polished and very much like a good teacher on his videos. And I was like, I can only imagine, like if I ever did the paid stuff, I'm sure it would be great. But there's so much content, and I would get distracted and start watching other people. And I ended up buying one course. If you guys are interested, I'll say who it was. But I got it and it was decent. Like I kind of was just like, I don't know if I'm really aligned with this trading strategy. And, I felt like the course maybe needed to be updated. It was a few years old. I didn't spend a lot of money on it, but the good thing out of that was that it pushed me into wanting to follow Ross. Because I was like, man's given out so much value from his YouTube. Like, this could just be a YouTube university on its own. Like, I think he's got like 1,500 videos up or something crazy. Hey, Alan. Yes, this is actually live because I couldn't get my video out of processing earlier. Keeper of the Deep says, I did the warrior trading full course and that's what I learned. Hyper focus on that style. Stick with it. Yeah, exactly. DPI is faster. Yeah, I don't even know if I have, I don't know, ChatGPT helped me set up the monitors. And it was like, well, if you don't have enough HDMI cables, like I literally gave it my computer model and it was like, yeah, you're kind of screwed because you only got one HDMI port. And I was like, how does it know that? But yeah, it told me to do the display port cable, which I don't know, to me, the screen looks pretty good. It's probably not as clear on the streaming of the phone. Trading is a game of probabilities, and over the long haul, your strategy will pay off if you can be disciplined. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thank you, fake name. He said your personality is so down to earth. Brando, I'm currently in the Warrior Pro program and learned a lot. I trade in the morning, then go into work. Do you have a day job while you're on your trading journey? No, Brando. So, backstory. I've been a full-time entrepreneur since 2015. In fact, I'm approaching my 10-year mark July 1st. And the last couple of months, I was like, I hate everything I'm doing online. I was selling like print-on-demand stuff with Amazon merch and a couple other print-on-demand sites. I've been an influencer for Amazon where you make like the review videos and they put the video on the product and you make commissions. Been doing this kind of stuff for several years and I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I was really unhappy. And I was like, you know what? I made this kind of decision for myself in February, which would have been well, technically I've been given this full-time attention since November, December. But in February, I was kind of still working on the sidelines a little bit in these other business stuff. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like it really felt like going to a job where you're forcing yourself to do activities you just don't want to do. So I was like, nope, done. Not going to worry about it. So yeah, I'm just going to make it happen, y'all. Just here to make it happen. I will say that I was blessed to have sold my property when I got divorced. So I had funds for trading and I had funds to live off. So I have like, whatever you want to call it, like expense money, cushion, whatever. I'm just trying to be really smart. And before I got into trading, I actually went through like a thorough thing of all my finances. And I was like, and I just cut so much crap out. Like I was so proud of myself. I stopped spending money like everywhere. Yes, good books. Skugsu, Atomic Habit, Best Loser Wins, courses on Coursera, and a bunch of YouTube market experience. Yeah, you said it with the last one, market experience, right? MDZ says, we want to see beginners because we're also beginners, I'm assuming. Watching dudes in Lambos creates FOMO. Yeah, man, like sometimes I'll watch some of these guys and it's just kind of like a inspiration, like, cool, like this is possible, at higher levels. So that inspires me. But it is very hard to relate to those kinds of people sometimes when you're just like, can I make $10 today? They're talking about, I made 6 figures in a day. And you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't even make $10 a day. Like, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Charisma is what I'm bringing, Stone. Mr. Burp, are you profitable? So 3 of my 5 finished months of trading, yes, I was profitable. Did I make a lot? No. Some months, I think I was up maybe like $30, $50. The first 1 or 2 months might have been a couple hundred. And last month I was slightly down. I think it was like negative like $20 or $30 because last month I started trading really small. I went down to 1 share, literally 1 share per trade. And I said, I'm just gonna focus on the strategy and hone in. Now at that time, it was a different strategy. I was day trading, but I wasn't focused on ROS's strategy. I was like still in that mode of let me figure it out, and I wished that I had followed ROS's strategy from the beginning because I think back and I'm like, okay, his couple of things I learned from him early on, I took those ideas and I applied it to trading large cap stocks. So I was trading like Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, the big stuff. And I would trade the ETFs. So there's leveraged ETFs where instead of paying $200 a share for Amazon, you could pay like $20 or $50, whatever the ETF is at that point. So that's where I was, last month, the month before. And I said, I need to get better at the strategy. And that's why I tried to, went really small in position size. And I did a video called 122 Tiny Day Trades Later. And it literally was at least that many trades of trading 1 share, 2 share, 5 shares. And right now I'm still in that kind of playing field, trading like 2 to 5 shares a trade because my consistency is just not there yet. Like I just need to keep on it. Yeah, hey Jane, love the style of Tom from Best Loser Wins. Yes. Y'all, this is like kind of a mind crazy book, Best Loser Wins, Tom Hugard. When I read it, I was like, who is this guy? Basically, his whole thing is why normal thinking never wins the trading game. So true. He's like a high stakes day trader, and I think he does swing as well, but he's crazy. MDZ says, I'm in Scarface Trades. Nice. Yeah, I think I've seen a couple of his videos. Fake Name says, I remember that I started day trading video that's got me in your channel and your Telegram. Awesome. Yeah, so you've been around for a minute. That was almost 3 months ago, right? Yeah. Hey, John, 6 months ago also. Wish we could chat. Yeah, come in. If you're not already in the Telegram group, there should be a link in the description of this video, and then I'll post it in the comments after I get off. Or if somebody is from the trading tribe, share the link for me if you don't mind. Just put it in the comments, and it should be clickable. I'm hoping if you post it in there, that would be awesome. Just Do It says, why don't you buy some trading courses? I did. I bought one last month, and there was like 2 I was considering, and then I was like, okay, I bought one, went through about half the course, and then decided I want to do ROS Strategy. So right now I'm just watching ROS's free videos on YouTube. However, I'm I'm going to be traveling and I'll be in a different time zone in a couple of weeks where it's going to be easier for me to sign up for his trial, his like $20 trial. And then I can watch him trade live, do the 2-week thing and see if, maybe something from that point, that I would go forward with. Robert says, are you single? No, I'm happily taken. Yeah, good for you, Rocky Mountain. Trying to scale up my construction business to trade full time. I really admire people who will work basically 2 jobs, because this is a full-time job. Whether or not people always treat it that way or not, it really is, especially when you're new, because not only are you putting in the hours sitting at the charts looking for trades, you are actually spending gobs of time learning. And I mean, like, you're watching content, you're watching course material, you are reviewing your trades, you're updating your journal, you're having a journal. Like, please have a journal. Like, from the beginning, I've had a journal. I've not been the best about the stats. Like, my journal's kind of a hot mess in the beginning, and I need to like go back and actually pull all the data from that and import it into the computer. But that'll be a project for another day. But yes, have a journal. Have you heard of hyper scalping? Yeah, do I have, and I forget the guy's channel. There was a guy that was recommended to me. I watched one of his videos where he interviewed a female trader and they talked about hyper scalping. I've just basically heard of it. Don't know exactly what they do. Scalping is an advanced trading. Agreed. Yeah, so OG, I was swing trading to kind of like see if I could grow some extra funds for my day trading, but the market got too weird and I started taking losses because it was tying up my money. I was like, I don't want to be in this trade anymore. I want my funds. I'm going to, sell for some loss here. And then I realized I didn't really need the extra capital right now for day trading because of trading so small. So I have like $5,000 in my account, but I'm only using, trading 2 to 5 shares a trade. I'm using maybe at most like 1,500 of that. And that's if I'm buying a bunch of trades that day. Otherwise, I've thought about just moving the money out. I'm pretty good about my risk management. Michael says, great to hear from a so down-to-earth person. Thank you. Going through what day trading is truly like. Yeah, man, Michael, it's like crazy behind the scenes. Like, this is real stuff, y'all. I'm getting up at 3:45 a.m. to trade from the Pacific Coast, y'all, to trade pre-market, okay? I don't know if I'm going to do it always because this is tough, but at least like 4:30. Mr. Burt, what is the basic ROS strategy? Great question. And I can easily answer that. I've got his like little PDF here. So he provides this free PDF, like if you want to trade like him as a beginner. And he's looking at small cap stocks, low float, high relative volume, so that meaning the stock is up. I think he's pretty much like in the 5x camp, like 5 times the normal volume. We're looking for poppers, like stuff is just kind of taking off. They might immediately dump, but this is what we're looking for. So he recommends trading from 7 a.m. to, the sheet says 11 a.m. Eastern. I don't think he really trades that long anymore. I think he trades more in a 3-hour window. Under 20 million for float, but that's if things are going really well. In these kind of markets, things are so risky. I don't know. I've heard people say that they've had better success looking for stocks in the float range of 10 million or less. And then we're looking for like stuff that's up at least 10% on the day. And a lot of this stuff will pop with news. We need fresh news. So that's kind of what we're looking for with that. And then for beginners, I've heard him say a couple different things, get in, get green, get out. Very quick, like if you're not green right away, you got in at the wrong time, basically. So he's like, just get out, take a small loss or something. His actual strategy, though, of making these huge days is buying the stock multiple times as it's going up and selling it. So I'm not there yet. What's up, Maza? Yeah, Telegram. Still trying not so easy hyper scalping. No, it doesn't sound easy. Fake Name says, I watch your videos every day since your first one. Woohoo! Never joined for the little class. You got a mic now. Warrior Trading and Bulls on Wall Street. Bulls on Wall Street. Do I know that one? I don't know. I watched Bull Bears Live Trading for a while. I think that they're called. Andrew Assis, who wrote that How to Day Trade for a Living book. Great book, by the way. That was one of the things that helped me with trading. However, the book and the way they actually trade now is kind of different on the channel. So yeah, that's what got me into trading like the ETFs more and the large caps, was because I was watching that channel. And I prefer Ross's thing. Just feel like it's good. So off the West Coast too. Nice. 3:30 to work. Yeah, the early mornings is rough. Kiwi, thank you. Love your content. Yeah, sorry y'all. The mic issues. I'll try to get closer to the camera. Yeah, my one is dead, and my other one decided, yeah, I don't know if it's actually going to work. But let me see if I can, this is help it. It seemed like it wasn't going to work today. We'll try it. It's just been one of those days, y'all. I try to 4:30 Eastern. Let's try that. Hopefully that does something. And then YouTube's got it in review for whatever reason. So Jane says, yeah, people think we just trade for an hour and call it a day. Not like that at all. Yes, we're constantly watching, keeping it ear to the ground for news, etc. Yeah, and it's funny, like in the beginning, you know, and I had some beginner luck, success, whatever you want to call it. I thought, you know, it sometimes it felt too easy. And I kind of was aware that I was having a little beginner's luck. You know, I'd buy stuff in the pre-market. This was my early trading strategy. I'd buy something in the pre-market like TSLR, which is the ETF to go long for Tesla. And I would just wait for the pop at the open. And I'd be like, oh, okay, maybe it'll pop like 60 cents or 75 or $1. And I would set a sell order for when that might happen. And because it was a bull market, it pretty much happened most of the time. So, you know, I'm just chilling in the trade for like 30, 45 minutes. Bell goes off. 2 minutes later, ding, you know, got my take profit. I'm like, cool, I just made like $40 or whatever. And it, you know, that kind of stuff made it feel easy. I had no real strategy. I just tried to look for potential pullbacks in the pre-market where I thought, oh, let's get in here, you know. And I could totally have been in the negative for a while, like the whole pre-market, and then had no stop loss, no mental stop. But I knew that at the bell, most of the time, Tesla would be like, pew! And at the time, Tesla was like freaking $400 a share. So it moved a little bit more than it moves now. What's up, walking each other home? Do you know how to read level 2? I am learning. You can trade like Ross without knowing level 2. Yeah, level 2 is tricky. I feel like it's one of those habits that you have to really develop, and just it's just a skill. Like eventually you'll just be like, oh yeah, I can read level 2. Right now I'm just like, okay, there's numbers, there's some colors. Like I try to look for like 3-digit order sizes because I know those are really big orders on Thinkorswim. I don't know. I'm getting there. STR, he says, how much do you make monthly trading? So right now, because I'm trading like extremely small position sizes, I'm either flat or slightly negative. Consistent profitability is the goal. And right now, it's just been about, these last couple weeks, it's just been about like, pick one strategy, pick one mentor, follow through, and hone in, basically. ROS Strategy is a fast pump and dump. Yeah, Robert, you do have to be fast. Agree, Robert, he's super fast. Yes, Mooney, mathematically you have a better chance of making money long-term investing than day trading. I do both. I do have like my retirement account where I try to buy things and like not look anymore. The market is too crazy these days. But yeah, I mean, I think it's my ultimate plan is make a bunch of money trading, day trading, because it's fun. Like this is what I want to do consistently. And then with the excess, invest. You know, I always would love, once I'm profiting consistently, to be like at least 10%, put it away. You know, stock it away. Don't let me touch it. I grew my IRA that way, which started as a 401k when I had a job.
And I was like, it wasn't easy money per se, because I'm like, in the beginning when you take that out of your paycheck, you feel a little pinch, But then after a while, you get used to the smaller check, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, it's going in the market, don't worry about it. So yeah, investing for sure. And Dizzy, yeah, the ROS technique is stressful. Like, so when I said earlier, find somebody that you resonate and you align with, you want to basically find that style that suits you. Some people like to buy and hold, and they look at 1 hour chart, 4 hour chart, and they're kind of like, they're day traders, but they're like, oh, I can let it sit there all day, and I'll close it out before the end of the day. I tried that. For me, that was actually more stressful, because I'm like constantly checking in on the stock, and I'm like, okay, it's not really moving, it's chopping around, I'm like kind of negative, I don't know. And I just, and then I'd have to worry like about, oh, well, I need to close it out by the end of the day. So I didn't like trading like that. I tried time frames of, maybe I'll hold and it'll go up in a half hour, 15 minutes, something like that. And it just felt like not what I was thinking it was going to be like. So when I found ROS Strategy, I liked the idea of, oh my gosh, it goes so fast. I could get in and get out, and maybe I make some money. That's cool. Maybe it makes me nothing and I lose money. I understand that that's the risk involved, but I think it's just the kind of person I am. Like, I was always into cars when I was a kid, like 6 years old, earlier than that, no, like 3 years old, and playing with like Hot Wheels and stuff. Always into the speed. And now I ride, sport bikes, fast motorcycles. I just think I was always a little bit leaned towards like the risk. I was a skateboarder, a snowboarder. I think it just aligns with who I am. Yeah, Rick, find a good scanner and a news source. Yeah, so on the topic of scanners, if you guys are wondering, I've been using Momo, I think it's called. Let's see if I got it up over here. So I got Momo behind me here. It's a free scanner. Make sure you go to, what's the website? momoscreener.com. No affiliation or anything, but it's free, and that's the free version, because sometimes they'll try to take you to a paid page or something. I've been using that one. I've been using Zendu on YouTube, the live streaming channel. Occasionally pop into Stocks Rocks, also on YouTube. And what's the other one? Oh, Trade Life Mastery. I think that's pretty much it. And then in our trading tribe, my trading tribe on Telegram, come join us in the group. Free to join. There's a link in the description. People will post, like whatever scanners they may have custom built. Hey, this one's popping, whatever. And a lot of people trade, like I trade, Ross Cameron kind of way. And they'll find these stocks, and sometimes they won't be on these other scanners. So I don't have access to Ross's scanner yet. Yeah, news, Sergeant Michael. Yeah, that can definitely. Well, and that's what we look for. Like, we're looking for things popping with news, because that's when you see a stock go from like no volume to crazy volume. And in that short window, if you can jump on it and you're just like confident about the entry, you really have no history on the stock because it's making new highs out of like nowhere. But I know this is how Ross trades a lot of the times. He just sees something like taking off, jumps in, and he's just lightning fast. He can sell as soon as it starts to come down. Sounds good, Rocky. See you later. Sounded better without the mic. Okay, well, just continue that then. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if the volume does anything while you're recording, but yeah, read Cameron's book, Day Trading the Plain Truth. Thought it was really good and really well written. Yes, I agree. That was one of the first things I, absorbed from learning from Ross was his free ebook. I attended like the free webinar, and then if you stay to the end, he gives you a link to the free ebook, and it's the actual book that he has for sale on Amazon. So it's by no means like some little cheap PDF. It's the whole book, which was great. So I reread it probably 2 or 3 times now. I think I'm in my 3rd read. Legit says, I love how vulnerable and humble you are. Thank you. Need to read level 2 to trade like Ross. Yes, I agree. Yep. M Dizzy. Yeah, and so let's talk about losses for a second while I'm trying to catch up on the comments. So my idea of like risk management,
here's where I came from. I didn't use stop losses when I first started day trading. Crazy, right? And then when I started to use them and realized, oh, you take losses and you use stops, right? And before that, sometimes I would just take the loss, manually, whatever. But once I started using actual hard stops, I was like, ooh, like I need to get better at my strategy. And so that led me to the journey of trading really small, because prior to trading one share, two share, I was buying like 30, 50, 75 shares of TSLR, TSLQ, whatever it might be. And these ETFs were somewhere in the range of like 40, 50, $60. And I was like, you know what? I'm not good enough to trade like this right now. And then I started trading in the pre-market like ROS does, and I was like, oh, you can't even use hard stops, right? There's no stops. And I'm learning now how to use mental stops. So at first for me, and then for a while, it was about a dollar amount or a cent. Like I'd be like, okay, I'm going to risk 50 cents a share on this trade or something like that. And as I started learning more, becoming a little bit, more like adept to this, I was like, well, that doesn't make sense for all stocks at all times. So I learned to kind of look for technical levels, like where's support, where there was the last pullback, that kind of thing, and kind of base losses off of that. And hey, if you're too far from that, like don't even get in the trade. This has been my lesson this week. Like if your stop is way the freak down here and you get in way up at the, yeah, that's just not a good entry. So Legit says Ross wouldn't trade IXHL today because it was under $1, but the news was a breakthrough in sleep. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering about that. I did hear about it. Apnea. Oh, sleep apnea. Yeah. Interactive brokers have a very fast free scanner in their account. Oh, okay, cool, Vincent. Yeah, I don't have an account with them. I've got accounts with Fidelity, Schwab, and Robinhood. I use Schwab's Thinkorswim to actually trade on. M Dizzy, nope, not in the LA area. I'm 4 hours away from you in Vegas. CC, who is Ross and how can I find more info on his trading technique? Yeah, so Ross Cameron, big YouTuber, big name. I've put actually some of his best videos I've learned from in my day trading resources, which is just a working live Google document where I'm keeping track of all these people I've learned from. And if you want access to that, just look in the description. There should be a link in this live video. But yeah, he's warrior trading. Have you read any books by AKA Maza? No, I have not. Yeah, audiobook. Oh yeah, that's a good point. So Ross Cameron has his own book, Day Trade the Plain Truth, or How to Day Trade the Plain Truth, on YouTube. If you search Ross Cameron audiobook, that'll come up, and he posted it himself, like for free. Sergeant Michael says, I subscribe to Trade Ideas for my scanners. Oh, okay. Wish the charts were better. I use TradingView for the charts. Oh yeah, TradingView is also good. I don't have a paid plan on any of these, but it's nice sometimes just to have like all the indicators for the most part. Yep, Jane, favorites, reread it. Have you watched The Trading Farmer? No, I have not. Walking each other home. What is level 2 trading? I just saw it on Thinkorswim. Yeah, so level 2 is like you're seeing the real in time orders of buyers and sellers going through. It's like what they call reading the tape. That's the ticker tape. It's just digital nowadays, right? It's not coming out of a little machine. So you're literally seeing in real-time action buyers' order size, the time that the orders are going through, and then the amount, like how many shares they're buying. Now, on Thinkorswim, y'all verify, don't quote me on this, I believe if it's a single digit number, like if you see a 2, that's like 200, if I'm not mistaken, 200 shares. Y'all verify. So if you see like a freaking 3 digits, that's hundreds of thousands, if I'm not mistaken, on the share size. Yeah, I think. Ross likes trading between $2 to $20. I found I trade better between 2 and 10. Yeah, Doug, that's a good point. I need to go back and look at my trades. By the way, I've been importing my trades in TraderView, the VUE one, to analyze and see where I'm at. And I had a free trial with them. I think I'm almost out with it, but it'll pull in all your trades and you can see like what trades am I losing money on and what trades am I winning? And it will break it down for you, like price of stock between X and X. And I think I'm in the same boat as you, Doug. I think my better trades have come from the lower price because some of these stocks, I'm trying to remember, what was the one? Oh, KYDL or something. I think that one freaking jumped from, like a $9 stock to like a 20 some dollar stock. And that's where I took a big loss because it freaking dropped in a 1 minute candle like $3 or $4. And I'm like, yeah, that's a big jump. So I agree. I think the $10 mark is better. Bob said I did IXHL, made about $18. Nice. Yeah, that's a good point. He said something about trusting the gut. So you can have all these technical indicators and things to like throw up on your chart. But I think sometimes you just have to listen to your own intuition. Like when you get in, like there's been times where I have like a little voice in my head and it's like, sell. And I'm like, I don't really know exactly why. Like maybe there's some things on the chart maybe suggesting to sell, but I'll listen to it and then bam, you just see like this huge red candle and the price just plummets. And other times I'll get the inclination to hold or to buy in and gut instinct, whatever. So Cece, the book Best Loser Wins. This book, no. Not really best book for a beginner. I think I read this in like month 3 or 4. It's a little bit more advanced in one sense that he teaches scaling into positions. So that means if you buy, like me, like 2 shares, then the price goes up. Instead of selling, he would buy 2 more and 2 more and 2, he would keep scaling as long as the price kept moving up. So that's a strategy he teaches in there. But on the flip side, that is a great book for like your mental strategy stuff. Another really good one for mental stuff, The Mental Game of Trading. That is a beginner book because it will help you confront the issues of day trading that are going to absolutely 100% come up for you. Greed, overconfidence, underconfidence, FOMO, fear, like all the emotions that we have come up at some point or another in trading are discussed in that book. So Mental Game of Trading, that one is by Jared Tendler, I believe. And then, other than Ross's book, which, like I said, if you find his webinar link, then you can stay for the webinar and get the book for free. Otherwise, it's on Amazon for Ross. Brenda says, I'm with Ocean One Broker, offshore, no PD. Wow, 6x leverage, no PDT rule. Very cool. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, I'm trading in a cash account, in case anybody's wondering. Cash account, which means I can trade as much as I want as long as the funds are available. So as soon as you enter a trade and you then sell that position, the funds go into what's known as unsettled funds. And you have to be careful when you trade, because I made the mistake one time of buying and selling the same funds with Schwab and didn't realize that they were unsettled. And they sent me a little like, hey, email warning. And I was like, oh, right. Okay. So you basically have to wait till the next day to use those funds again. So for example, I have a $5,000 account. I could buy, however many shares that is for up to that. If I spent all of that money in one day, that's it. I'm done. I can't trade anymore. So just make sure when you have your broker account info up, if you're in a cash account, look at settled funds. That's what you have left. So if I spent $1,500 that day, I've got $3,500 that's settled. And then the rest will be available tomorrow. Yeah, Bob, Ross nailed it. 85,000 yesterday. I know. I'm like, dude isn't even like at his regular trading station. He was on the road, like trading from a laptop with like an extra screen or two. I mean, if that is an inspiration, I don't know what is. Like, blows my mind. John says, have you watched Tom Hugard's London Talk on trading psychology? Yes, a couple times, actually. I really liked his perspective on things because he talks like no other trading teacher. It's almost like he's anti everything that other trading people will teach you. Like, the whole idea of like there's the whole thing of nobody went broke taking a profit. Y'all heard that? He's like, yeah, they did. He's like, you took a profit and you could have made 10 times that, or you could have recovered some loss you had if you'd stayed in the trade longer. So his way of thinking is a little outside the box, and I really liked just to see how somebody like that thinks. I'm more, following ROS's strategy, and it's a little bit different approach, but I did really like that talk. Trading Farmer created the 50-50 style of trading. I don't know what that is. Okay, yeah, Bob confirmed Thinkorswim, if it's 100 in the level 2 box for number of shares, that's actually 1,000 shares. So you have to watch these numbers. Yeah, because if it was, okay, so what did I say was, okay, yeah, I was slightly off. So if it was 300, it's 3,000 shares. Have I used a prop firm like Trade the Pool? No, I have not used a prop firm. I looked into prop firms, but it seemed like they were only available for futures and Forex. They really didn't have options for people trading stocks only. Yeah, fake name KDLY. It's like, how many people got messed up on that one? Rock on. Thank you. Walking each other. Stocks are tough. Lots of research. Yeah, I mean, John, if you're holding stocks, yeah, it's a lot of research to go through all the fundamentals and whatnot. That's why it's kind of a refreshing change of pace with day trading, because it's like, okay, I don't hold anything overnight. I'm in and out of trades. Probably the longest I hold a trade anymore is like 5 minutes. And I have an answer. I have a resolution. did I make profit or did I not? And it's just kind of like, I can walk away now. So I like mentioned it earlier. I just don't like even intraday holding, like buying something in the morning or overnight and like waiting for things to come around. It's like, oh, okay, is it going to come around? No, Dylan, I do not trade futures, just stocks. Kathy says, Ross is an ATM machine. Mine was a slot machine. Our styles did not mesh. Yeah, that's funny because I live in Vegas. Christina likes your style. Thank you. Yeah, so green or die trying. Because I'm just focused on Ross Cameron's thing. I'm just gonna trade him. Just follow that strategy, because what was messing me up, I feel like in month 3 and 4. Like, let's see. I think it was month 3. I had my first negative month, and I had another negative month in 5, and I was like trying to take a little from this guy, take a little from this girl, take a little from this channel, and you end up with this like melting pot of day trading advice. Some people say hold, some people say support resistance, some people say buy the dip. Like, you're getting all this different data points, and it's kind of like it just gets like total confusion up there. So that's why I'm just right now just Ross. That's who I'm following. Mr. Burp, how many trades a day? Typically, I feel like I do better 1 to 3. 3 is kind of a max. There's been days where I've traded like 5 trades a day. I know as a day trader, that's not even a lot, but I think as somebody who's trying to be better and more consistent and profitable, less is more for me. Because I've noticed the tendency to doing too many trades for me means opening myself up to more risk and potentially just doing some beginner mistake, or just your brain. I think when you first start this out, like I'm even give an example. When I first started to learn to ride a motorcycle, I first like ride out on the open road, not in an enclosed parking lot or anything. It was so stressful and so like terrifying to me learning to do this, that I think the first ride I went on was like 20 minutes, like some store down the street and back. 20 minutes. And I came back and I had felt like I expended so much energy because I had all this tension and nervousness in my body and fear, and it took so much out of me. Now, I've been riding for 5 years. It's unconscious competence. I'm doing all the gear shifting without thinking. Like, I have no problem. I manage a very big, fast sport bike. And 20 minutes would be like, it's nothing, right? But I think for me with day trading, it's so taxing mentally sometimes when you're starting out as a beginner. Like, don't feel like you have to prove to anybody that you can execute 20 trades a day and you're like, yeah, I'm good. It's not a race. It's not a game. It's not like, hey, I've done 1,000 trades. How many trades have you done? It's end of the day. We just want to be profitable, right? Like, I think that's all that matters. And you might find that you can handle more trades in a day as a newbie than me. I'm done after 3. Like today I did 3 and I was just like, yep, okay, I'm good. And that was sitting at the computer for like 2 hours. So John says I trade an almost bear chart with a 20 and a 200 SMA. Okay, cool. Read Tom's book as he was writing it. Oh, cool. Nice, John. He released it to his group. Yeah, freaking, when was this written? Like 2024? I feel like it is kind of a newer book. 2022. Okay, so we're talking about best loser wins, Tom Hugard. 2022. So it feels pretty current when you read it. Have you tried Ross's maple syrup? No. Does he market that? That would be awesome. Be like little Ross face on the glass jar. Jared Tendler works at Scarface Trades. Oh, I did not know that. He does a site course for their traders lab. Okay, cool. Thanks, M Dizzy. Yeah, Jared Tendler, great book, Mental Game of Trading. No, I don't do futures. How much buying power did Ross use to make 85K? Y'all quote me if I'm wrong. I think he has a $500,000 account. I think he's got like 500 grand in there. Not quite sure, but I think. Doug says, I'm working real hard on learning to read level 2. I was in the sim trading, no chart, just level 2. Nice. Buys like 20,000 blocks. Yeah, Ross freaking trades like a maniac in size. Tom hooked me with that talk. Yeah, I agree, John. That's why I went and bought his book. I was like, who is this guy? And I gotta find out more about him. Shiny messenger, baby. Yeah. Takes time to get the patience. Yeah, Chris. I'd be happy with 85,000 pennies. Right? Can I get a win here? Oh, Lamont. Yeah, I actually have that book, surprisingly. Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis by Anna Cooling. It really taught me to pay attention to the volume. Like, she says the same thing over and over. And I'll find myself referring back to the book and like, oh, right. I'm highlighting and circling things. And I bought the black and white version. I kind of wonder if maybe I should have bought the colored book, but she puts a lot of charts in it. That's why. Stick with one strategy, get good. Exactly. Prop firm. Yeah, Badam. I can't do prop firms with stock trading. At least, I don't know. Do y'all know any prop firms that you can just be like, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to trade low float, small cap stocks? Like, I think most of them, if not all of them, are futures or Forex. Anyone seen Ross's biggest loss video? I haven't watched that yet. So apparently Ross Cameron had a minus $275,000 loser day. I know people who would lose their crap if that happened over a year. Yeah, that's insane. He's a gangsta. Moo just stopped me out from trading. Apparently you have to have a cash account for unlimited day trading. Yeah, so El Scott, unlimited cash account. Well, do they mean like your funds are available? Because as soon as you buy something in Moo, I'm sure that when you go to sell it, the funds are not settled, right? So otherwise, if you have a margin account, then you could probably trade unlimited with however much margin you have. Forex will trade 500K to 1.5 million. Nice, John. Yeah, Forex is like, I don't barely understand it at all. This whole pairs and all that stuff. Nope, don't get it. The same way, El Scott, bikes, scuba diving, etc. Nice. John says, if I'm scalping, I'll do 30 to 50 trades a day. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if my brain is going to get to that point or if it's just going to be like, let's just buy more shares and do less trades. I think that's kind of where I'm at. So, oh, cool. We got 111, 112 people watching. Y'all welcome in. Come join us trading live tomorrow morning. I'll probably be in the trading group, Amy's Trading Tribe on Telegram. I'll probably be in there around 4:30 my time, which is 7:30 Eastern. Caps, what's going on, Caps? Work in a sim before losing real money. If sim is not fast enough to get in and out, maybe do real money one share at a time. Yeah, great point. If I had to start all over, I would tell myself and other traders to do what I did, except, yes, trade with real money, but no, do not trade 25, 30, 40, 50 shares like I did. Go and do the one share and nail your technique, nail your strategy. Get good, because if you can trade and not worry about the freaking money, then you're on your way. Because in the beginning, for me, I was worried about the P&L, focused on the money. How can I make money? How can I make more money? And that just messes up your psyche when you start taking losses, right? Because then it's about the money. And it does something to your confidence. So when I started trading with one share, it was kind of like, hey, let me find a way to boost my confidence because I feel like I suck. And I'm still in that feeling like I suck, but maybe feeling like I suck just a little bit less. And I'm on my way, But at least when you're trading with one share, you've got real money on the line, small. You've got real emotions on the line. There is going to be a different thing going on in your brain, because even though you might be buying one share of a $2 stock, you're still going to be like, okay, I'm going to monitor this trade. I'm going to watch my pennies, right? Because that's what you're dealing with at that point. And hey, even if that stock goes to zero, at least you only lost the $2 share or the $10, whatever it might be. Pretty sure that's not going to happen, but it really takes away the fear of getting in the trade and the fear of losing money. At that point, it's just like, okay, what I found was I was doing really well with one share because I stopped looking at the P&L, because I was like, oh, it's like, 20 cents up or down, 30 cents up or down. Like, so small. Like, you're not worried about the money at that point, and then you can actually focus on your strategy. 200 to 500K. Okay, yeah, thanks, Bob. So confirming Ross Cameron's account is somewhere between 200 and 500K. Trades live the London and New York Open. Oh, you mean Tom Hugard, John? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I'll pop in. I used to pop in on Tom Hugard's channel. You can only trade what you deposit. Correct. There's some definite love for futures trading. I feel y'all with your futures trading. Okay, Amy's got a low battery here. We're gonna be cutting it short here soon. Summer sunrise. I've developed bad posture from trading too much. Yeah, I'm like feeling it sometimes in my neck and then like my back. I'm like, okay, gotta go find the masseuse here. Forex is easy. How long you been doing it, Shiny Penny? Because I'm just curious. I can't wait for the day when I'm like, yo, day trading is so easy. I mean, right now it just feels like I'm just lying through my teeth, Fake name says margin accounts have PDT. Oh, right. Okay. 3 round trips in 5 days when your account is under 25 grand. That's right. I've never had a margin account, so I forgot like the rules around how much money you actually have to have in the account. Hey, thanks, Doug. Loves the Telegram group. Anybody just joining us, come trade with us live tomorrow in the Telegram group, Amy's Trading Tribe. Link, I think, in the description. I don't know if you guys can post links. I'd asked if people could. Oh, Shiny Penny, because you were cursing, it hid your comment, but I can read it. Your Pacific time. I effing hate waking up. Yeah, it's been challenging. Chris says, are you a morning person? Yes, I have consistently, since I've been an entrepreneur, gotten up between the hours of 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. 6 a.m. is like late for me. 4 to 5:30, 4 to 5. And now I'm on Pacific Coast, so that makes it challenging with day trading the pre-market because it freaking opens at 4 a.m. and I'm just like, all right, guys, let me wake up here. And so I think for next few days, I'm going to start trading more like 4:30 my time so that I'm a little more alert and ready. Fake name says, I still feel like I suck after 3 years of failure and 3 months of profitability. Finally, no, that is like a turning point. Dude, you're on your turning point, meaning you stuck it out for 3 freaking years. Most people would have been like, well, I didn't make any money my first month. I'm out. I didn't make any money my 3rd month. Me at 6 months. I have no like expectation that like, oh, I gotta be making X dollars by 6 months. Heck no. Like, I get it. This is a skill. This is just as important of a skill, and it takes just as much time, in my opinion, as going to school for like a doctorate degree, right? Like, you don't just come out the womb knowing this stuff. This is a learned, takes time, takes confidence, takes a discipline kind of skill to trade. And I would not put yourself down at all, because you freaking stuck it out and look what's happening. John says, I only trade low-hanging fruit, might trade 2 hours in the morning, same 2 hours for the Asian session. You will take open trades. Okay. Vero says, come to the dark side, futures. Wow, 6 years, John. That's great. Shiny penny, 4 years. Okay, so shiny penny, to you, you put in that time for 4 freaking years, and you didn't give up. So your perspective of futures, I'm sure, is like, now it feels easy, right? Because you've been in it. John says, for trading individual stocks, Humbled Traders vids are great. Humbled Trader. Is that... Wait, who is Humbled Trader? Oh, yeah, the Asian girl, right? I've watched some of her stuff too. When I was looking at swing trading videos, that's who was popping up. M Dizzy, I thought futures is 24 hours except for Saturday. Yeah, I think there's like a small window where futures closes. Yes, the Chinese lady. 24 hours, tradable volume is 8:30 p.m. No, 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central. Shay, okay. Woo, I finally caught up on the comments. Awesome. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the, just chiming in on the conversation. And any, all the people saying books and things, that's great. Feel free to come hang with us tomorrow, or, join now. Come trade with us tomorrow if you want in Amy's Trading Tribe. Link in the description, or you can go on my channel, watch the other videos on the channel, and you'll see links in those videos to the tribe. It'll open up Telegram. You just have to sign up Telegram through your phone, but you can use it on desktop. So thank you guys so much for coming, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.